Power is a blade that cuts in two directions. One edge promises strength, clarity, control. The other draws blood quietly, often long before the man holding it understands what he has agreed to give up. This is where your attention must slow, because power is never a gift. It is a transaction written in parts of yourself you may not be ready to lose. Miyamoto Musashi is often spoken of as a hero, but heroes are easy stories told by men who did not walk his road. Musashi was not crowned by victory. He was carved by it. Every duel took something unseen. Every step forward required a shedding of comfort, belonging, softness. Ancient wisdom never lied about this. Strength is earned through loss. Something must fall away before anything solid can remain. Modern men are sold a fantasy of power without weight, influence without responsibility, confidence without sacrifice. You are told you can have strength and keep everything else untouched. That is how weakness is manufactured. Power taken without payment rots the man from the inside. So the question waits, heavy and unavoidable. What does true power take from a man before it gives anything back? And are you prepared to stand still long enough to feel the cost before it is taken anyway? Musashi walked alone, not because he was lost, but because strength separates. He carried no banner, pledged no loyalty, and belonged nowhere for long. The road itself became his only companion. Ancient warriors understood this truth without resentment. To stand apart is the natural consequence of depth. The crowd moves together. The strong move inward. Loneliness is not always absent. Sometimes it is clarity. Musashi learned that the stronger he became, the fewer voices could follow him. Modern life teaches you to fear this distance. Connection is worshipped. Approval is currency. Yet you already feel it, the quiet gap between you and the noise around you. You hear laughter but do not belong to it. You speak, but something remains unsaid. This is the quiet cost of standing apart. Strength pulls you away from comfort long before it grants certainty. Ancient warriors accepted solitude as part of the path. Modern men numb it with distraction. But you cannot distract yourself forever. Strength is a road walked mostly alone, and somewhere deep inside, you already know you have been on it longer than you admit. Musashi's duels were not theatre. There were no banners, no cheers, no warm echo of admiration. Victory arrived without celebration and left without comfort. Blood does not feel heroic when it dries on your hands in silence. Ancient warriors did not confuse survival with glory. They understood the difference between winning and being fulfilled. Modern culture sells triumph as spectacle. Applause replaces substance. Men chase admiration like proof of worth. But admiration is a weak foundation. It demands repetition. It grows hungry. Musashi saw through this early. Victory that depends on being witnessed owns the man who seeks it. The illusion of glory distracts from self-mastery. You win, and then you must win again. Louder, faster, bigger. Eventually, the echo fades and emptiness remains. Ancient realism knew this cycle. There is no joy guaranteed in success. Only responsibility. What follows external validation is not peace, but hunger. And hunger, left unchecked, devours the man who feeds it. Musashi refused comfort with intention. No luxury softened his edges. No stability slowed his awareness. This was not self-punishment. It was refined. Ancient men believed ease dulls the spirit, the way rust dulls steel. Hardship chosen sharpens. Hardship avoided weakness. Voluntary deprivation became his sharpening stone. Hunger taught patience. Cold taught presence. Solitude taught honesty. Modern life moves in the opposite direction, insulating men from resistance. Convenience is celebrated. Stimulation never ends. The spirit grows soft without noticing. Discipline, when chosen, is freedom. It removes dependency. It restores agency. Pain trusted becomes instruction. Pain avoided becomes fear. Musashi understood the difference between pain imposed by the world and pain chosen by the will. One breaks. The other builds. You are not broken because life is hard. You weaken when it is too easy. Power reveals what lives beneath restraint. Musashi knew his capacity for destruction. He did not deny it. He studied it. Ancient warriors respected the shadow because they understood its honesty. Violence exists whether you acknowledge it or not. Modern men fear their intensity. Aggression is labeled, buried, or numbed. But denial does not purify. Musashi chose mastery over suppression. Darkness disciplined becomes force. Darkness ignored becomes chaos. The shadow is not evil. It is raw energy. The difference lies in command. Ancient warriors carried their shadows like loaded blades, sheathed until required. Responsibility over one's darker instincts was the true measure of strength. Power demands this awareness. Without it, you become a danger to yourself first. Mastery is not being harmless. It is being dangerous and choosing restraint. In later years, Musashi withdrew from public combat. The enemies outside him grew fewer. The battles inside grew sharper. Ego demands proof. Pride seeks repetition. Ancient self-respect requires none of it. True mastery leaves no trophies, no witnesses. It is quiet alignment between action and intention. Modern culture cannot see this. Validation is loud. Integrity is silent. Musashi chose silence. This path is lonely. Quiet integrity offers no reassurance. But the strength that announces itself is already seeking permission. Ancient men understood this distinction. Mastery that goes unnoticed is often the most complete. When applause fades, what remains is the man. And that is the only measure that ever mattered. Stillness was Musashi's final weapon. Timing emerges from calm. Action without turbulence creates inevitability. Silence unsettles reactive minds because it offers nothing to grasp. Modern men are trained to react. Quick anger, constant explanation, loud confidence masking fragile identity. Musashi moved without a rush. Calm presence became dominance without effort. Stillness is not passivity. It is a stored force. The man who does not hurry cannot be controlled. The man who watches longer sees deeper. Authority that needs no explanation fills the space naturally. .com is the sharpest edge you can carry. Most men abandon the path quietly, not because it is impossible, but because it asks too much. Comfort whispers. Distraction dulls the question. Avoidance feels like peace. Power demands sacrifice of fantasy. Ego must be shed. Illusions must die. Musashi paid this cost willingly. Modern men postpone it until stagnation sets in. False peace is expensive. It costs depth. It costs growth. It costs alignment. The danger is subtle decay, not collapse. Choosing ease over depth feels safe until years disappear. The price will be paid. The only choice is how consciously. Musashi's way was not a technique. It was a stance toward life. Every man pays a price, whether he chooses or not. The difference is awareness. Walking alone does not require bitterness. Strength, balanced by restraint, becomes clarity. Power carried silently does not seek proof. The final image is simple and complete. A man who understands the cost, accepts it without resentment, and walks forward without regret. He needs no applause. He knows who he is,